Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and we are the scouting staff for this season's Hula Bowl. This interview is sponsored by the Caribe Royale Orlando Hula Bowl. The Caribe Royale is the title sponsor, and they're a luxury resort just a few miles outside of Orlando Disney. They offer a lavish accommodations with great pools, massive ballrooms, several dining options, and more. Book your dream vacation now at CaribeRoyale.com. Today I have with me one of the athletes who's going to participate in that event this season. His name is AJ Woods, cornerback out of Pittsburgh. Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you too.
So, for people who don't know you and your story, man, I mean, obviously we're looking at probably one of the fastest guys that could grace the field and obviously showcase those talents because, again, we invited you to the Hula Bowl, but and again, out of Pittsburgh, very a school with great tradition, especially there in the secondary. But give us your background, man. Tell me where you're from, and let's walk through this thing.
Right. So, like you said, I'm AJ Woods. I'm from Germantown, Maryland. How I got to Pitt, interesting story. I mean, you talk about my speed. I ended up going to camp there my junior year and running the fastest 40 at the camp and showcasing my skills very well in one-on-ones and 7-on-7. And it took them a while to extend that offer to me. I was actually committed to James Madison at the time. But after like a week or two after committing to James Madison, my area recruiter, Coach Powell, called me and he offered me. And then my position coach at the time, Coach Collins, had also called me to let me know that I had been offered. And ended up taking a visit up there the next weekend and fell in love with the city. And the rest is kind of history. I ended up going up there in 2019 and I just finished up my last season here this year.
Cool. So, do you want to backtrack a little bit? Again, from Germantown, Maryland, for if people don't know, I actually grew up there myself, but probably twice your age. So, you went to a separate high school, but you went to Northwest High School. Talk about some of your best memories there at Northwest.
Definitely beating your Seneca Eagles in the Germantown Cup. But yeah, Northwest, I got to grow and mature as a player. Coach Newbiser, Coach Corpus, actually, I started out there as an offensive player, and they gave me the opportunity when I had moved up to varsity my sophomore year to start at corner. And I'd always played defense growing up playing football, but I felt like I was more of an offensive player. I always wanted to score touchdowns and all that kind of stuff. But when they introduced me to defense, I kind of fell in love with the position of corner and defensive back and was making plays back there. And, they said that was the best opportunity I had to showcase all my skills from being able to score, make plays happen on the defensive side of the ball, cover, tackle. You could really do it all on defense. And they really sold me on that. And they instilled that toughness and grit that I took to the University of Pittsburgh, and I fit right into that defensive scheme. And I owe a lot of their coaching to the player I am today.
Cool. So, yeah, I mean, obviously a guy who does well with the ball. I mean, you are a guy who, knows what to do when it's in your hands, of course. I think it's cool in that regard. Playing a little bit of offense way back in the day. Also have in my notes that you were a really good track athlete. And so
Yeah.
obviously those things do translate somewhat to the game. So some of the PRs that I was able to pull up for you, about a 10.7 in the 100 meter, 21.7 in the 200 meter.
Yeah.
So really good numbers there for a track athlete. Anything else that you want to add?
I was a state champion in the 55-meter dash. I ran like 6'4", something like that. Yeah, shout out to Coach Youngblood, who really stuck with me and taught me a lot about track. some things that I didn't know, and he helped me with my speed. And he was out there at all the football games supporting me and just, helping me keep my technique right on the field when it came to running and all that kind of stuff.
I remember Youngblood. Might be the same guy that I remember way back in the day. So,
Probably is.
um, cool. So, obviously, man, Pittsburgh, they were the school for you. They were the ones who gave you the opportunity. What separates Pittsburgh, man? What makes it so special for you?
Um, I think personally for me, and when I think about Pittsburgh in general, um, it's a blue collar city. It's a city where you know people work hard, and that's always been like a motto of mine. Like you can have all the talent in the world, but if you're not working hard, you're gonna get caught eventually. And they're just they play such a physical brand of defense that was similar to the brand of defense that I had come to know at Northwest when I was there. And they press a lot, and we pressed a lot at Northwest, so everything was easily transferable from that level, from high school to college when I first got here. Um, and I mean, that's pretty much what I came to know. I mean, at the University of Pittsburgh, and that it's just a blue collar city that focuses on toughness.
I mean, I can't agree more. I mean, obviously, that's sort of the mentality in Pittsburgh, of course. Just the tough, physical, hard-nosed type of football. Um, so looking at you as a prospect, man, I think a lot of people would say the one thing that does separate you is speed. A guy who can obviously go stride for stride with almost anyone, but outside of that, is there anything else about you that you feel separates you?
I think when looking at me as a prospect, my speed is something that stands out very much. But also when you cut on the tape, that my technique and my ways to get the ball out are become really evident, and how much I'm around the ball um, really shows when you cut on the tape for me. I was tied for the lead in the ACC for pass breakups in 2022. 2023, I found ways to be around the ball by getting sacks when they moved me to nickel. I think I'm a very versatile player that is able to be smart and make plays through knowledge of the game.
Yeah. So a couple quick things. So of course, again, highlighting the speed. At the beginning of the season, you were named on the Bruce Feldman's freaks list for a supposed 4.3 laser time in the 40, which is phenomenal. And so you also talked about a little bit of versatility, the ability to play nickel. And that I kind of feel like that's probably where you're gonna, carve out a niche at the next level is there at nickel and maybe special teams. How do you feel about that?
Um, any opportunity is a great opportunity in my mind. I think that I fit a lot of uh, 4-2-5 style defenses, and when I would come in at nickel, and we would run more of like a 3-3-5 nickel package, and it allowed me to showcase my speed and blitzing and dropping into coverage where I was able to make plays that way. Special teams, it's something that I played every year of college. Coach Powell, my area recruiter, gave me an early chance as a freshman to play every single special team. I kick returned. I ran down as an L1 on kickoff. I was a jammer. I was a gunner, and I was able to be productive at all those positions when I was given the opportunity. And you can see that year to year that I usually didn't come off special teams until like my last 2 seasons where I didn't really play as much special teams. But I'm out there sometimes playing jammer, running down for sky punts, and you know, showcasing my ability and willingness to play special teams.
Well, cool thing, man, is I think that that's how you're probably going to, make a team at the next level. I mean, again, you look at a guy with exceptional speed who can play on all specials, who can be that guy, like you said, in all those different spots. So, let's turn towards some more football and let's kind of look at the broad scope of things in the ACC. So, ACC to me, man, is really very tough conference. Let's just face it. I mean, year in and year out, it seems like at least nowadays it can really be won by almost anybody. I
Right.
think gone are the days where Clemson's winning it every year. Let's just say that one. So uh, these days, it is so tough where like you guys might even lose like most of your games by like maybe one score or two. So I mean, it's very very tough. Talk about that competition over the years, man.
So yeah, every year, like you said, there's top talent in the ACC, and you get to go against that week in and week out. And it really became in the latter half of my career where like a wild, wild west where anybody could really win the ACC. And we were able to take it in 2021. But you see top talent all throughout the ACC, especially coming from the Pittsburgh Panthers. We had two first-round draft picks the last 2 years in Kalijah Kancey and Kenny Pickett. And when you look at our defensive back end, we've had draft picks every year from B. Hill, Eric Howlett, Jason Pinnock, Damari Mathis, and Dane Jackson, and DeMar Hamlin. All very great players that have showcased a lot, and I hope to be the next Pitt DB to get drafted, and hold up that legacy of great Pitt DBs in the NFL. But if you look at other teams as well, you see the top talent at receiver, where no week is a week off, and everybody is good, and anybody can get beaten on any given day.
Yeah, you talked briefly about Hallett, who is in the Hula Bowl most recently, and of course, we extended that offer to you. So I mean, you can be that next, great Pitt Panther to showcase yourself down here, and then like him, get drafted, man. I mean, we could
Right.
definitely see that happen here in this upcoming draft. So, um, again, tons of talent coming out there, but who's coming up in that program there at Pitt that people need to start knowing about?
Um, for sure, on my I got to keep it in the DB room. Who I'm most excited to see. I'm most excited to see the three guys that were behind the three guys that played the majority of the staffs, me, Marquez, and MJ. It's Rylan Gandy, Tamarion Crumpley, and Noah Bigelow. Those are all guys that I'm excited to see. And I even want to throw Rashad Battle in there, who was coming off injury. All guys that I are play corner and have showed so much the past 2 to 3 years that they've been here, um, to be top talent, top corners in the ACC, and they play a physical brand of football that I know will put the conference on notice.
Cool. So, let's reflect a little bit, man. I mean, you were at Pittsburgh for what 5 years, right?
But
So, a lot of great moments, like you said. I mean, winning the ACC championship a couple seasons ago, and a lot of great talented players, around you, and been a part of a lot of great moments. As you reflect, what are you going to remember the most, man? Is there a game or a play or something that sticks out for you, or just like the camaraderie? I mean, what is it for you that's sticking out the most?
obviously, at Pittsburgh, I was able to build lifetime bonds with guys on the team, such as the guys in the corner room, Marquez, MJ, and even friends that I've had all the way back at Northwest that we went to school together, DeAndre Jules. You couldn't be closer than blood. But I'd say, other than that, winning the ACC championship and seeing that confetti fall was a dream that not many guys get to experience. But I was excited to be a part of that and be able to make a big time play in that game and have that 76-yard interception return. I mean, I wish I would have scored, but I'm just happy to be a part of history and a moment like that and stamp my name to that game.
Well, I mean, that's a great moment, man. I mean, returning the ball that much. I mean, huge difference maker in the game, a momentum changer, things like that. That's awesome. So, I was thinking also, again, coming from Northwest, spending time at Pittsburgh. I mean, I'm sure you've grown a lot. So, what's the biggest difference between you coming in as a freshman and now leaving as a well-seasoned veteran?
I think the biggest difference is the attention to detail that goes into the game. High school, a lot of times you can get by just being a better athlete than most people in your field. But when you get to college and you have to go through steps to become the best player at your position, to be even allowed on the field. And then when it comes to games, you have to consistently win your one-on-one, especially in our defense where we play a lot of bump and run, man coverage, where we're on islands. And with a little margin of error such as that, you have to pay attention to the subtleties of the game, where the receivers lined up on this play opposed to another play. What formation is a run formation? What formation is a pass formation? This split of a receiver indicates that he's running a fade. This split indicates he's coming inside to run a slant dig. Things like that helped me make a lot of plays in the back half of my career once I paid more attention to things like that. And it allowed me to be more productive and around the ball with my mind rather than just sheer physical ability, which I think set me apart from, it showed my progression in the game.
Cool. So now AJ, you're an NFL prospect, man. Have you let that sink in now that your collegiate career is done? I mean, you're an NFL prospect. You're a guy who could be drafted. You're a guy who could maybe line up like on one of these professional teams that maybe you grew up watching way back in the day. Like, has that sunk in yet?
I mean, for the most part, it's a tough question to really
Sure.
answer because, I would say halfway yes and halfway no, because it's like this is a moment that you've dreamed of and I've talked about with friends and family since I was 7 years old. It's always been a dream of mine. And, to be so close to your dream, it's like doesn't even feel real at moments, but in other moments it feels like you're exactly where you should be because of the work you put in. And it's probably an hour by hour where it's crazy that I'm really where I want to be at right now. And the difference in me getting drafted is all up to me. It's what I do. So it's an exciting, but, kind of scary moment where, you're at your dream, but you're not quite there yet. So, but it's exciting. It's more exciting than anything for
Sure.
my family and I to go through this process. They couldn't be prouder of me. And, I owe a lot of that to them who have done nothing but constantly support me and believe in my dream since I was even that young.
So, I mean, again, we've extended an invite out to you to come down to the Hula Bowl, and you've accepted that invite, and we're expecting you down there so that you can showcase things. I mean, obviously, it's a week long of activity starting on the 8th, but the game itself is on the 13th of January. CBS Sports is where will be able to watch that, and you'll be able to go out there and maybe get one of those long picks and maybe get a pick six in the game, man. That would be pretty sweet to do that on an all-star level stage.
Yeah.
So we'll see how you do. So certainly something to look forward to. AJ, do want to meet you outside of football a little bit, if you don't mind. Is there anything else that you want to talk about that I don't know, maybe your hobbies, your interests? You have anything else going on in your life that you want to share?
I'm pretty all about like football. Like a lot of my hobbies involve football, but when I get a lot of free time, I like to play the game, talk with friends, keep up with all my guys. You mentioned Eric Hallett the other couple minutes ago. Like I try and keep up with all those guys and pick their brains for the process that I'm going through right now. But if I were to say like anything is a hobby, I like to play the game when I got some spare time. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm a simple guy that doesn't really do much. I mean, that's all I do.
No, I get you. Let me try and get some questions to you just for the fun of it, okay?
Sure.
So, favorite breakfast cereal?
Favorite breakfast cereal? Um, Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch. Not too many people say that one. Not too many people are willing to admit that one. So,
But
uh,
I do like frosted mini wheats as well.
okay, that's fair. It's like with mini wheats, like you feel like at least it's a little healthy. So,
Yeah, but it's a specific flavor to it. Like not the regular frosted ones, like the blueberry frosted ones. Those be good.
all right, that's cool. Bro, a lot's changed since I used to live in Germantown. What do you miss most about home?
What do I miss most about home? I don't know if you tried it, but well, first, my mom's home cooking, first and foremost. But the second thing, um, I'd say the Amish market, right in
Oh
right
man,
next
I
to
love
Seneca.
that place.
That Amish market be hitting, man. Uh, to their fried chicken, to the salad, the dressing that be going with the salad. Whew, I miss that.
Dude, you walk into that place and gain 5 pounds. Like that's how it is. I mean, you smell it and the aroma hits you, dude. I
Yeah,
completely I'm there. I'm there already. I used to love going there and like they have a restaurant in there too. So I mean,
yeah.
a lot of good stuff in there. So uh obviously a guy who grew up in Maryland. Were you a Ravens fan, a Washington fan? Obviously now you're in Pittsburgh. I mean, did you have any allegiance back in the day that maybe you like, I don't know, pulled back on or what?
I'll never pull back on my allegiance. I've always been a Ravens fan. My family's a Ravens household. Um, yeah, Ravens fan all the way. I
Okay.
remember I did the Crab Bowl, the Maryland Crab Bowl, and we practiced at the Ravens practice facility. It was cool. Like that's a real moment to be where all those pros practice.
So growing up, I mean, obviously, you think of guys like Ed Reed, one of the best at his position. Not necessarily your position, but is there another guy maybe who does play your position that you try your best to, maybe study their film or emulate them or what?
Um, well, obviously Ed Reed was because I played safety like growing up, so like he was my all-time favorite player. Just to see the way he like could cover ground and be so rangy and make all these plays on elite talent. Uh, but as I like shifted from safety to corner, I was a huge fan of Darrell Revis. His ability to shut down an entire side of the field, um, for like all time great wise. But now, like more new age guys, I like Trayvon Diggs, another guy from the area. Um, who else? I've been a big fan of Xavier Howard, Stephon Gilmore, like technicians that are able to really go and get the ball. Um, they've always piqued my interest to where like I like to watch their film because especially Xavier Howard, they play a lot of like cover one down there, and he plays a lot of like bump and run. So his technique is always on point, and he's able to like make a lot of plays on the ball just because of his technique. So
So, kind of along those lines, but maybe looking at it from the opposite end, who's that one receiver that you want to match up with at the next level, just to be able to look them eye to eye and just like, you know, be able to shut them down? Like, who's that one guy that you want an opportunity to get that on?
one guy that I want the opportunity of, um, I'd say I want to go against Stephon Diggs. Yeah, Stephon Diggs. Another guy from the area. I've always
Sure.
had a lot of respect for him, and I've gotten the opportunity to work out with him. Uh, Great guy, hard worker, extreme competitor, and a guy like that brings out like your competitive nature too to you know want to get the better of him. But as I was working out and going through drills and one-on-ones with him, he would also help me and say like if a receiver's doing this, he's probably thinking this. So he was also able to help my game, and I would love to line up against him on a Sunday. So
Cool. Well, obviously, man, you're going to be in a position to maybe do that, but before you get there, you're going to come down to Orlando for the Hula Bowl and match up against some of our guys, and all the scouts and stuff will be get a chance to watch you do that during practice as well. So, but before the Hula Bowl happens, obviously people are maybe sitting down watching this video now, so. Go ahead and just talk to those people that might have some doubts about you, why they need to take a chance on you at the next level, give you that opportunity, hit them with your pitch and close us out.
all right, well, I'm a fast physical player that isn't afraid to come down and make a tackle. I have extreme speed and range, and am extremely capable of being extremely versatile in any defense. I can play outside and have showed that I'm tough enough and physical enough to play bump and run coverage with big outside receivers. I've showed I'm quick enough laterally to cover inside slot receivers. And I've even showed that I'm able to make plays and blitz. So with me, you get a total package, a very versatile player that is able to cover in and outside, but while also being able to affect the offense and be worried about me in blitz protection. So total package.
Yeah, I mean, a guy who I think is going to, hit the field and, running at the next level, doing a whole lot of different things. I mean, showcasing that versatility, carving out a place on special teams, on all units and such. And again, someone's going to take a chance on you, man. I don't know who that's going to be. I mean, obviously, we always hope for the local team that we grew up watching, and we'll see how that ends up. But buddy, see you very soon in Orlando, and wish you all the best. All right.
Thank you.
No problem. Once again, AJ Woods, defensive back, Pittsburgh. Check this guy out at the Hula Bowl on January the 13th.